Good morning. This is your CDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The government is pushing forward with its thrust to ensure rural communities are not left behind. This is MP for Mayaro and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Nicholas Morris, hosted a community health fair for the residents of Bish. Bish Charuma Councillor Charlene Muna praised MP Morris, the Eastern Regional Health Authority, Sewa Titi and other stakeholders for bringing the health services to the remote community.
He is one of the most grounded MPs we've ever had in the constituency, and as he mentioned, we're trying to bring services to rural communities. And Bish is a community that is very far away from most services. So being able to get these services here today, I know the community is very thankful.
Minister Morris noted this is the third installment of this fair in his constituency. He suggested people in other remote areas can expect similar services coming to their communities.
Today we are here in the community of Bish with Councillor Charlene Mona to ensure that people can benefit from services for their health, for their wellness and their well-being. And this is part of the government's drive and trust to ensure that services reach rural communities, that services are improved and efficiency continues to be uplifted throughout our public services.
In other news, on Saturday, President Christine Kangaloo highlighted the importance of national unity as she attended the Takviyatul Islamic Association's 100-year anniversary of Islamic service. In her feature address, she applauded the association's commitment to educating future generations of this country. She noted that TIA was the first non-Christian body in our country to receive state aid for education and now has 5 primary schools and 2 early childhood care centers. She commended its students for their discipline, confidence, and character.
TIA schools teach children more than facts. They teach them how to think critically, how to serve, how to respect themselves, and how to recognize the dignity of others. An examination result measures one moment. Character shapes a lifetime. For its sustained contribution to the education and development of our young people, TIA deserves the nation's gratitude.
President Kangaloo said the milestone underscores the importance of service to country, which can be achieved through unification and meaningful partnerships.
A centenary, therefore, gives TIA much to celebrate. But a centenary also entrusts with it a sacred responsibility to the future, to continue to form young people who unite conviction with compassion, achievement with responsibility, and faith with service, and to remind Trinidad and Tobago that unity does not ask us to surrender identity. It asks us to bring the best of who we are to the service of a shared homeland.
The association paid tribute to its past founders and pioneers who laid the foundation for what it has become. It also thanked its board members, parents, teachers, and students for their commitment to excellence. In more news, Ainsley King has been re-elected as president of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Calypsonians Organization. Voting began at 9 a.m. on Sunday and polls closed at 4 p.m. In a post on his Facebook page, King thanked members of TUCO and the wider Calypso fraternity for their trust, support, and confidence. Mr. King added he is deeply grateful for the opportunity to continue serving as president. He said the victory belongs to everyone who believes in the work being done to strengthen the association, support its members, and advance Calypso. He called on the Calypso fraternity to move forward together with unity, purpose, and renewed commitment. In some sport now, Trinidad and Tobago enjoyed a successful outing at the North America, Central American, and Caribbean Track and Field Championships, copping 19 medals, which included 4 gold, 7 silver, and 8 bronze. On the third and final day on Sunday in Mexico, Eden Chiwa landed gold in girls under 18 200-meter dash final, clocking 23.10 seconds. Joining her on the podium would be Jael Peters, who won bronze in 23.71. 2026 Carifta medalist Nyla Kerr added to her resume when she claimed silver in the women's under-18 800 meter. In the field, TNT's Kanisha Shelburne also won silver with a leap of 13.18 meters in the women's under-23 long jump. And closing out the day saw Aaron Charles secure silver in the under-23 men's 200 meter final, Tanique Vincent claiming third on the women's under-23 heptathlon, and TNT under-18 boys and girls 4x400 meter relay teams who won silver in their respective finals. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today, Virmala Balkaran. Good morning, Virmala.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Monday. How are you
Happy Monday.
today?
Good, good. I didn't get to see you on Friday at all. So, so it was Friday and the whole weekend. So I'm happy to see you today.
I know you missed me very much. And we did miss you on Friday. Gosh, I feel like it's such a long time since we spoke on camera, but you did miss out on Friday.
Yeah, I know. I missed out a nice show on Friday down at the TIC.
Yeah, and of course a little lime afterwards. Everyone, the entire crew, we were all together, and it was such a good time. But maybe next time you'll be with us. Next time.
Maybe we'll do the news from TIC as well. Who knows?
I really don't mind that at all. Well, Carrie, the summer vacation, or Java as they're calling it, is officially, it's
officially
started.
begun.
Yeah, so how are people feeling this morning about the lack of traffic? I'm inclined to ask that, but then I came from Chaguanas this morning, and there was so many cars on the road because of the rain. Yeah, and some parts of the streets, just a little bit of flash flooding. So I'm just urging everyone to be careful today, and just enjoy the vacation. To all these students.
I mean, I don't know what a vacation is like anymore, right? Because, we out of school a while now, but...
Wow, I mean, it was just the other day for me.
Right, because a big age gap there.
Really big age.
Thanks so much,
I used to love my summer vacation so much until my parents would just come and drop it on me and say, well, we signed you up for some classes, some extra classes. Great.
Right? Yeah,
There's no vacation for me.
Like summer classes. But I don't know, those used to be fun. I mean, yes, it was work and during, your Java, you don't want any schoolwork, but, they had their good memories as well. You would meet your friends from school plenty times, other students from other schools and classes sometimes.
Yes.
And you'd make new connections.
I made so many friends, and I feel like every weekend I go somewhere and I meet them. Actually, this weekend, I met one of my old teachers, well, I won't say old, but one of my teachers from back in my, improvement classes days.
So
my gosh.
Teachers probably like my age, who you calling old.
Listen to me, they are absolutely stunning still at whatever age that they are, and it's just a great journey. But just want to urge all the students, if you are heading to improvement classes, camps, whatever you are doing, just have the best time, and just know that you'll make so many great friendships that you will continue to carry for the rest of your lives.
And trust me, enjoy these school days while you can, because you might tell yourself at this point in time, oh, school is so much and so hard and I have exams and
the
stuff.
mandatory naps that your parents are forcing you to take.
Well, yeah, if you're in kindergarten and stuff, but enjoy these days.
Yeah.
Enjoy these days because
before you know it, you'll be begging, just like Carrie and I every single morning.
Exactly.
So I need a break.
Exactly.
Well, Carrie, we continue the conversation with the TTPS today on Trinidad and Tobago Today about the Java period, just parents, how they can better protect their children, guardians, also children, how to be safe this vacation period. So we'll talk about that and so much more inside the show today. I'll talk to you soon.
As usual. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Amala.
Bye, Carrie.
Bye. When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going right after this break.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Attention viewers in Trinidad and Tobago. The Truth of God now airs on the TTT network every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching of Pastor Jennings as he speaks from God's Holy Bible. The Truth of God, Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. on the TTT network.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT, Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
Monday, 13th July 2026. The time now, it is 6:12 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. Well, a yellow level localized flood alert is in effect for Trinidad from 5 this morning until 4 this afternoon. The Trinidad and Tobago Met Service says periods of rain could trigger localized flooding, ponding, and possible landslips, particularly in southern and eastern areas where soils are already saturated with all the rains we've been seeing. Now, motorists and pedestrians are urged to please avoid floodwaters and, of course, monitor official weather updates and stay with us at TTT Live Online. Well, the race for World Cup glory is down to just 4 teams. France, Spain, England, Argentina. They booked their places in the semi-finals after winning their quarter-final matches. And France defeated Morocco 2-0. Spain edged Belgium 2-1, while England and Argentina both needed extra time to overcome Norway and Switzerland, respectively. And the semi-finals kick off on Tuesday, July 14. That's tomorrow, with France taking on Spain before England faces Argentina on Wednesday, July 15. Don't forget, we've got that final viewing party for you right here at TTT Media Limited this coming weekend. And a father-daughter dance featuring a Trinidad and Tobago classic is winning hearts online. There's no better way to start a Monday. Just take a look at this. Bride Mel and her father skipped the traditional slow dance in favor of the late mighty Shadow Stranger, a song that she says has been part of their bond since she was a toddler. And the joyful performance has gone viral on TikTok. Here it is.
Good dance. Here we go.
Well, from one sweet Caribbean moment to another, over the weekend, Machel Montano shared this heartwarming video with our beloved Calypso Rose. Posting on social media, Machel wrote, I'll always sit at the feet of Mama Rose to listen to her stories and that sweet, one-of-a-kind voice.
Tobago, the land of my birth, which foreigners don't know. I passed through depression and starvation to be where I am with my profession. So Tobago, I am thankful to you. I will never be ungrateful. I say thanks, thanks, thanks. I thank my mother, my school teacher, my neighbor, my brother and my sister. So you see, Tobago, I thank thee. All right. That is the song I wrote and one.
What a voice. We absolutely love this, and we're so glad to share this with you to get your week started. Well, coming up inside the show, we look at what 3 new agreements between the government and U.S. companies could mean for Trinidad and Tobago, from AI and data centers to the future of the Point Lisa's iron and steel plant. Could these projects bring jobs, investment, and new opportunities for the economy? Well, economist Dr. Valmiki Arjun joins us next to unpack it all. So you know what to do. Grab a cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you know, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Your heart, brain, and body work hard every day. Give them the support they deserve with omega-3. Packed with essential fatty acids, omega-3 helps support heart health, brain function, and overall wellness. Whether you're staying active, focused, or simply living life to the fullest, live healthier with omega-3. Wellness that works from within. Tune in to Wellness Unlocked on TTT Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:45 a.m.
वेंटीना
हाँ वेंटीना पे
चल बोल डाल
शाबाश 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 आएगा आएगा आएगा
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, you need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
understanding with leading United States companies to explore major investment opportunities in Trinidad and Tobago. While the proposed initiatives include the development of large-scale data centers, artificial intelligence infrastructure, and the recommissioning of the iron and steel plant at Point Lisas. And collectively, these projects have the potential to attract billions of US dollars in investment, create thousands of jobs, and also support the country's economic diversification. And joining us this morning to unpack what these agreements could mean for TNT's economy is economist Dr. Valmiki Arjun. Good morning, Dr. Arjun.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you so very much for having me yet again.
Oh, thank you for being here. Now, the government has signed 3 memoranda of understanding with a potential investment value of more than, I believe, $5 billion US dollars. And there's AI infrastructure, data centers, and as I said before, the recommissioning of that Point Lisa steel plant. So from your perspective now, how significant is this announcement and what message does it really send to both local and international investors about TNT's economy?
Well, our FDI, our foreign direct investment, has been overwhelmingly concentrated on oil and gas, LNG, petrochemicals, heavy manufacturing. But these MOUs are now a signal that we are looking to position ourselves as a destination for hosting large-scale and capital-intensive investments beyond these traditional oil and gas industries and these heavy manufacturing industries. So the proposed centers cover, the proposed projects rather, they cover data centers, artificial intelligence, infrastructure, and of course the recommissioning of the Point Lisas steel plant. The value is approximately $5 billion US dollars, and that works out to be roughly 90 to 20% of our GDP. So the scale of the investments being considered is very massive. Now, what's important to note is that international investors are highly selective. They don't consider investing billions of dollars on a whim. They only consider this when they believe a country offers long-term commercial opportunities for them, viable opportunities, political support, and a reasonable expectation of attractive returns that they could make money overall in that country. Plus, at the end of the day, we possess important investment advantages. We have an established industrial base. We've developed energy infrastructure. We have low-cost electricity to offer, a strategic location near North and South America. Plus, we also have an English-speaking and skilled workforce that could support newer industries. We have decades of experience in managing complex international energy projects. So while these agreements are still at the MOU stage, what they do is that they demonstrate that multinational firms are seeing enough potential in Trinidad and Tobago to begin this serious due diligence. Now, there's also a signaling effect worth mentioning, because when one major investor moves or expresses interest in a country, others tend to take notice. It would prompt other firms to take a closer look at our economy as well. So if these projects, if even one of them were to be implemented and to succeed, if it more than delivers, then it would reinforce to the international community that TNT can still host complex and capital-intensive ventures. And that certainly matters now, because it helps to push against this narrative that we are experiencing sluggish growth and we have thin FDI numbers and a heavy reliance on the energy sector, because all of that could be circumvented. But again, we're at the MOU stage. This is where we are developing the framework for cooperation, for discussions and due diligence. What we have to do now is put the measures in place so that we would get a final investment decision by the companies. The true test of the investor confidence is really going to come when the companies complete their technical and financial assessments and they obtain the regulatory approvals. And most importantly, they commit actual capital, money to invest in the country. So the announcement is certainly a very encouraging signal, but the economic significance will ultimately depend at the end of the day on the implementation, on the execution.
Dr. Arjun, if these projects move now beyond that due diligence stage that you spoke about and they're successfully implemented, now tell us what impact could they actually now have on the economic growth and the employment and foreign direct investment and Trinidad and Tobago's long-term efforts to diversify beyond the traditional energy sector?
So, well, there's a host of them. I mean, the list is limitless, right? Once these projects reach the implementation stage, they could provide a real shot in the arm for Trinidad and Tobago's economy, especially in the short to medium term. We're talking about more than $5 billion potentially flowing into activities like construction, technology infrastructure, digital infrastructure, industrial refurbishment. And when you spend on that scale, it doesn't stay confined to the projects themselves. It ripples through the entire economy, so it creates opportunities in transport services, telecom, real estate, security, financial services, catering, professional services, engineering, a wider support ecosystem in the economy. In fact, the GDP boost would likely be more visible during the construction and the installation phase, when the local workers, contractors, suppliers are most directly involved. Of course, the bigger test is what happens after the construction, after you build these data centers and these AI infrastructure, etc. The facilities will have to remain internationally competitive, generate exports, earn the forex, and continue adding value to the economy over the long term. Now, on the employment side, the numbers that they mention are quite significant. I believe they mentioned more than 5,000 skilled and semi-skilled jobs would be created, and that matters very much so in a small economy like ours. It's quite significant, especially when you include the fact that it's going to create opportunities for construction workers, engineers, technicians, welders, software professionals, data specialists, etc. What you'd find also is that there'd be a knock-on employment through local contractors, suppliers, and service providers. But also, what you have to consider is that data centers and AI facilities, they require specialist skills, a specialist skill set. Things like cloud architecture, data engineering, cybersecurity, network management, machine learning, etc., advanced electrical and cooling systems and whatnot. Now, if nationals are to benefit meaningfully, then our universities, our technical institutes, training providers, we have to start preparing now, preparing our people now, well before these facilities become operational, because otherwise we might not have enough technical staff to fill these entities, and you want to avoid a situation where too many of the higher value jobs may have to be filled from abroad. Now, from an FDI standpoint, a foreign direct investment standpoint, this could improve our right? Large capital inflows like this $5 billion is going to be bringing US dollars into the system, because that money is coming in to Trinidad and Tobago. It will help to finance imported machinery, equipment. It'll generate overall confidence in the local economy. And again, as I mentioned earlier, there's a demonstration effect, because when major investors enter a country and they operate successfully, other investors tend to pay attention. But there's a caveat to this, because we shouldn't assume that the full $5 billion will remain here locally, because during construction, a substantial share of the forex will flow back out for imported services, importing the machinery, the technology, all the specialist equipment, bringing in consultants and contractors, etc. So the forex benefit at the end of the day is largely going to depend on whether these projects and when these projects earn export revenue and retain a meaningful portion of those earnings locally. And of course, you have the tax revenue angle. These projects become profitable and they operate at scale. They will generate large corporation tax payments, business levies, withholding taxes, taxes from local suppliers and workers. And that will help the public finances over time. But we also have to consider the flip side, the benefit, the net benefit. We also have to look at the incentives that are granted by the state, because some of these projects, the state may be inclined to give them, especially in the early stages, tax holidays, subsidized electricity even further, duty exemptions on major infrastructure support. Government revenues, therefore, could take some time to materialize to the fullest effect, to optimize then to the fullest effect that you'd want to see. So the country has to ensure, the state has to ensure that the incentives are tied to clear outcomes, investment deliveries, jobs created, local procurement, exports earned, and technology transferred. But of course, the real prize is diversification. Data centers and AI facilities could help to certainly position us as a regional hub for things like cloud computing, cybersecurity, data hosting, AI services, and other tech-based components, exports. When you also recommission the Point Lisa steel plant, that complements this on the industrial side, and it restores some of the productive capacity that we would have lost years ago. It would support manufacturing, it creates engineering demand, and opens the doors to higher value steel and metal exports, right? But at the same time, we have to be honest about the energy issue. Because remember, data centers, they consume enormous amounts of electricity. And steel production is also energy intensive. So in fact, our natural gas base, our industrial infrastructure, and our competitive electricity costs are probably part of the reason why these investors are looking at us, right? So this is not diversification away from energy in the purest sense. It is about harnessing our energy base more strategically to support new and higher value industries. That means what we have to do is certainly increase and stabilize our gas production so that we can avoid stretching the domestic supply of gas too thinly. And also we have to ensure that the gas and the electricity that is used by these projects generate more national value than they would in alternative uses. And if we get this balance right, then these investments would certainly help to convert TNT's traditional energy advantage into a broader industrial and digital advantage.
Dr. Arjun, you're talking so much about the artificial intelligence and the large-scale data centers, and of course the revival of that plant. And you spoke about the opportunities that can be created now. Let's zero in on that, and let's talk about how strategic this is, and what opportunities could they create for the workers now, but also the local businesses, the entrepreneurs, and the wider economy.
So what I find strategically interesting here is that these projects let us build on what we already have, while at the same time pushing us into genuinely new territory. So on the digital side, we're talking about a 300 megawatt data center and a 150 megawatt AI facility that could eventually scale to about 500 megawatts. Now that is serious infrastructure. And the AI and cloud computing aspect, those are niches. That's not niche anymore. They are becoming as essential to the global economy as air itself. In fact, companies everywhere need this computing power to run AI systems, to store data, to process payments, to secure their networks. And given our telecommunication links, our skills, our industrial base, the English-speaking workforce that we have, the skilled workforce, and the location in the Caribbean and near the American markets, there's a real case for TNT positioning itself as a regional hub for this. There's a real case for us earning foreign exchange by selling computing and AI services to international clients. But I think the part that I find most exciting isn't just the data centers themselves, is what could grow around them, the clusters. So local entrepreneurs could offer cybersecurity services, cloud computing, software development, data analytics. Existing firms, they could tap into the cloud computing capacity to build fintech platforms. So you're looking at spillover effects into building the fintech industry, health tech applications, logistics systems. If we get this right, the data centers become the foundation for a broader digital ecosystem, rather than just building large buildings full of servers and generating high electricity bills at the end of the day. Now, the Point Lisa steel plant, it gives us a different kind of opportunity, but strategically just as important. Because we're not building an industry from scratch here. We already have the industrial infrastructure. We already have the technical experience, the port access as well, and the energy base. So restarting the plant, essentially, what it does is reactivate a productive asset that is simply sitting there underutilized for years. And steel isn't some abstract export commodity. It's a basic input into construction, into housing, roads, energy and renewable projects, etc. So local production of steel that would certainly reduce our import bill on steel where it makes commercial sense. And it also opens up the export earnings from higher value strategic metals. Now, where both projects converge economically is in how they pull other sectors along with them. That multiply effect in transportation, fabrication, engineering, construction, insurance, accounting, legal services, industrial maintenance. A lot of small and medium-sized companies, they could genuinely enter this ecosystem, these supply chains as vendors and subcontractors. And you'd find also workers themselves will start getting better incomes to spend more locally. That supports retail activity, housing, transport in turn. I mean, the economic benefits are virtually limitless in my view.
My final question for you this morning, Dr. Arjun. These agreements are still at the Memorandum of Understanding stage. So what key milestones must now be achieved before TNT sees the full economic benefits? And let's say everything goes according to plan. Hopefully it does. What could the country's economy realistically look like over, let's say, the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay, so I think the immediate next step is the due diligence. That is really where the rubber meets the road. Each investor, they would then now have to work out whether these projects are technically feasible, financially profitable, and of course, environmentally sound, because a lot of these companies internationally have their ESG mandates to follow. Now, data centers, what that means is digging into electricity supply, the grid capacity in TNT, telecoms, cooling, land, water availability as well. That's an important aspect. Cybersecurity and customer demand. And for the steel plant side, is about assessing the condition of the existing facility, the equipment, what the refurbishment cost is gonna be like, raw material sourcing, and whether there's at the end of the day a real market for what it produces. And of course, there is a real market for what it produces anyway. Now, from there, the investors would then need to secure financing and reach a final investment decision. And this is the stage that I would watch most closely, because it is where the MOU becomes a real commitment. Right? That is the point and where the MOU becomes a real commitment. The signs to look for are concrete. You want to look at committed financing, signed construction contracts, approved development plans, and clear timelines. Right? Not press releases, actual paperwork that is signed and then you start delivering. And of course, the state, the government, will have their own work to do here. They would now have to negotiate very, very carefully. For example, any tax concessions, any subsidized energy or state support. At the end of the day, that has to deliver real value back into the country, not just to the side of the investor. So the incentives has to be tied to certain clear commitments on employment, local procurement, training, exports, actual investment spending. And the whole arrangement, at the end of the day, it has to be transparent enough so that we can be confident in the benefits that the benefits are going to outweigh what the state has to put in, what the taxpayers has to put in. Right? Now, on top of that, you have the usual runway of environmental approvals, regulatory sign-offs, infrastructure upgrades, and as I mentioned earlier, the workforce preparation. We shouldn't wait for any of this to actually happen. Universities, the technical institutions, businesses, they need to be mapping out the required skills, the skills that would be required to make this happen. We have to map this out now, right? Well before these facilities are anywhere near operational, so that when we do become operational, we already have the workforce in place to house these entities. And of course, if all this plays out well, the economy could look meaningfully different in 5 to 10 years' time. We could have a genuine digital economy, right? A revived industrial sector, and of course, a broader export base than what we've had in decades. Point Lisas could become a much more modern industrial and technology hub in its own right, and TNT could carve out a niche as a regional center for tech, for data processing, AI infrastructure, digital services, etc. And the other compounding effect, success, at the end of the day, success attracts more success. More tech companies would gravitate towards strong digital infrastructure, Manufacturing firms would cluster, more manufacturing firms will want to cluster around major industrial plants. So once these projects, they land very well, if even one of them land very well, it will pull further investment behind them and create clusters of related businesses, jobs, services, a transformation that we would have seen being bigger than what would have happened in the last 3 decades, if not more.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Arjun, for joining us. We'll continue to chat with you as things progress. Have a good day.
Have a good day to you too. Take care.
All right. That's economist Dr. Virmala Arjun. We take a short break, and when we come back, there's so much more.
TTT weather with Zaina James, daily at 7 p.m.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition. It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, got you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
काम करो वहाँ मारो।
वेंटीना?
हाँ वेंटीना पे।
चल बोल डाल।
शाबाश शाबाश आएगा आएगा आएगा।
अली।
Well, last week we began an important conversation with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service on keeping our children and our young people safe. Well, today we're picking up where we left off, focusing on the risks young people may face during the July-August vacation, from gang recruitment and job hunting to meeting people through social media. and dating apps, as well as staying safe in nightlife settings. Well, joining us once again on TTPS today is Acting Police Sergeant Devon Jagrup of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Good morning.
Good morning, Ms.
Good to have you back.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
Last week our discussion was so fruitful and, so many families benefited from that. And I want to extend that a little bit today. Now, we spoke broadly about youth safety last week, but I really want to zero in now on gang recruitment because that's a big one. So how are the gangs targeting our young people today, and what are some of the warning signs that our parents and guardians should be looking out for?
All right. Well, I know that we have limited time, so and there are several issues we would really like to discuss, especially reaching out to our young people. So if you'd permit me, I have some of my notes that I can quickly explain to you exactly how we could treat with some of these issues. All right, so I'd like to start off with, I'll get to your question. However, I would like to start off with the issue of summer jobs firstly. All right. Some secondary school students, they might be looking for jobs. Parents should be careful. Right, they should advise their children that if they are seeking employment, right, especially through social media means and so on, they should be wary of the issue of human trafficking, right? Because this is a serious issue. There are a lot of unscrupulous people who are out there really trying to lure children into situations where we really can't really help them to get out of that situation. So we have to be mindful of that as well. Do thorough background checks. Confirm that the agency has official websites. Check the address, the legitimacy of the contact numbers and so on. If it's any government or security agency, use the official websites. Verify social media pages. Check the employee TT platforms and so on. So that is one of the ways we can avoid those issues. Now, we have to pay attention to some of the red flags as well. There may be an ask to pay a fee for processing or training, even uniforms, before they are hired. Sometimes they may push for the request of sensitive documents, your ID card, your passports, photographs, before confirming any actual interview. If there's signs of vague job descriptions and unusual high-paying efforts, we have to also see that those things are red flags. If they're pressuring our young people to pay quickly or giving them ideas of, hey, this is only today alone, we have to make sure that we get this done today. All right, so these are some of the things that we have to pay attention to as well. All right, we have to warn them to be very protective of their identification, right? Don't be too quick to give out your ID information or your banking information and so on. Now, to go back to your question about gangs now, yes, it's an issue that we are seeing that a lot of young people are being recruited into these gangs. Now, quite obviously, they won't know that it's actually a gang that may be involved in criminal activity because, of course, no one walks around with a sign saying, hey, come join us. All right? They use different styles, different methods to attract your children. So they have the provider approach by giving them small gifts, phone credit, pair of sneakers, cash for minor favors, creating a sense of debt or obligation. And then there's the protection pitch, framing the gang affiliation as some form of safety, safety from other threats in the community. And there's the family pitch, of course, offering belonging, respect, or status that may be missing elsewhere. And they often try to isolate you from positive influences because, of course, they are trying to recruit. So they will often pitch that, these people don't really care about you. We care about you and we will support you and help you along the way. So I can't emphasize enough that accepting small favors from these persons who purport to be gang members, it doesn't mean that you're in too deep. There's always a way out, and reporting these matters as early as possible is of paramount importance. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated. There are far more beneficial options. Trusted adults, the TTPS community programs, these are things that are without judgment. Yeah?
Yeah. No, we're talking about all of this, but another huge part of being a young adult is social media. And,
Yes.
you know, sometimes you use dating apps and it makes it even easier to connect with people, especially if you're a little bit alone. And again, it's teenagers, you know. So if someone decides now, and not just young people deciding to meet someone they've only interacted with online, and you know, they're heading to a date or whatever it is, what safety measures should they put in place before that first meeting?
Yeah. Well, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is urging young women in particular to exercise caution when arranging to meet persons that they have connected with through dating sites and apps on social media. So before you go, you should tell a trusted friend or a family member exactly who you are meeting with, where you are going, and when you'll be there. Share the person's name and their photograph and profile details with those trusted persons. Video call the person beforehand to confirm their identity, that it matches their profile. Choose a public place, well lit, for meeting for the first time, never a private residence. Arrange your own transportation to go to the meeting place, of course. Let a friend check in with you by phone several times during the date. Consider having a friend nearby or accompanying you, especially for the first meeting. Agree on a code word or a phrase with a friend that signals that you need some type of help. During the meeting, you should keep your phone charged and easily accessible. Avoid leaving your drinks unattended. Trust your instincts, and if it feels wrong, then leave. Report suspicious behavior. Right? Members of the public are reminded that any threatening, coercive, or suspicious conduct can be reported to the nearest police station via the TTPS hotline 800-TIPS-555 or any police station.
All right, well, Sergeant, we want to say thank you very much. We want to leave some more to talk about a little bit next week. We know you always have a lot to tell us. There's so much to absorb in all of this, and you can access this a little later on at TTT Live online. But thank you very much. We'll continue this discussion next Monday, where we do this all over again on TTPS Today.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you know, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel. And I never regretted it.
Sunday, July 19th, all roads lead to the Mecca, 11 a.m. Maraval Road. Digicel and TDT Limited Media Network presents Game On, the finale, the ultimate football watch party experience. Get ready to feel the energy, the excitement, and the passion for the biggest match of the tournament, the final showdown. Who will lift the trophy? And yeah, the best part, it's absolutely free. And you know, Trini's like freeness. But there's a catch. You must secure your exclusive access pass to gain entry. Log on to www.islandetickets.com to get yours. Gates open 1 p.m. So come early. Bring out your friends. Bring out your crew. Bring out the family. Stay locked into TDT Limited Media Network. Suite 100.1. Next 99.1. Talk City 91.1 FM for all the details. Game on. The finale. Don't just watch it. Experience it.
Powered by Digicel. Real connections. Creamy novelties. Live a little. Jade Monkey Bar Tobago. Campari. Embrace the mix. Magnum. Tech Charge. Stamina Energy. Rise to the occasion. Blue Waters. Life is better with Blue Waters. Cafe Barista. Savor the moment. The Castello Prosecco. Stoli Vodka. Bold by design. Allegra. Relief treatment that works. And the TTT Limited Media Network.
evolving rapidly, and meeting tomorrow's challenges will require more than medical expertise alone. A new memorandum of understanding between the University of the West Indies and the Northwest Regional Health Authority is bringing together healthcare, engineering, research and innovation to help shape a stronger, smarter healthcare system for TNT. Well, joining me this morning is consultant pathologist and chairman of the Northwest Regional Health Authority, Professor Hubert Daisley, to tell us more about this landmark partnership and what it means for the future of our healthcare. Welcome, Professor, and good morning.
Hi, good morning.
So, Professor, this MOU has been described as a landmark partnership. So, what makes this agreement so significant for TNT and our health sector at this time?
Good morning to everybody, the crew, and good morning to yourself once again. The MOU is about bringing academic knowledge, engineering expertise, and frontline healthcare experience together to solve real problems, improve patient care, and support national development. It's a partnership with purpose. UWI and the Northwest Regional Health Authority are creating a structured pathway for research, teaching, and healthcare practice to work together. It's innovation that is practical. The focus is on solutions that improve systems, equipment, infrastructure, data use, and patient experience. And it is building local capacity. The agreement will help train students, support professionals, and develop solutions suited to Trinidad and Tobago needs. The significance of the MOU, it would connect UWI academic and research capacity with Northwest Regional Health Authority healthcare delivery experience. It would create a formal structure for collaboration, not just occasional cooperation. And it focuses on practical solutions for national healthcare challenges.
Now, Professor, this builds on an existing relationship between the UE and the NWRHA. How does this new agreement expand that partnership and really take it now to the next level?
Yeah, the partnership here moves the relationship that we had from goodwill to strategy and implementation. It would support planned projects, internship, joint research, and staff collaboration. It would also build a framework for measurable impact over time. Yeah.
Well, Professor, I want to ask you to stay on with us for just a few more moments. We're going to take a short break for the news, and then we continue this discussion when we come back on Trinidad and Tobago Today. Just about 4 minutes before the top of the hour. It is a very rainy day on the nation's roads. Please be safe. Look out for flash flooding. And of course, if you're on the highways this morning, a little bit of traffic is already starting to build, so look out for that. We'll give you a little bit of a weather update a little later on from Zaina and so much more. And for everything that you see here on the show, you can head across to TTT Live Online. Also, we see you this coming weekend. Game On. It is the finale. The football finals will be right here at TTT Media Limited, 11A Maraval Road. We take a break. Carrie's up next, and then we come back.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Rivalries, predictions, and bragging rights. Who are you backing? Who's already making excuses? And who do you think will lift the trophy? Join hosts Mariah Ramharak and Nasira Mohammed live on The Final VAR, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. as they discuss every controversy, every goal, and review every match from football's biggest stage, along with a panel of guests. The Final VAR, where the debate is as exciting as the game. Watch exclusively on TTT and stream on TTT Live online.
Hey, up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The public is being warned of the possibility of flooding throughout southern and eastern Trinidad today. This as the Met Office has issued a yellow level localized flood alert. In its warning, the Met Office said periods of rainfall have led to heightened concern that streams and smaller watercourses may overtop. It added periodic rainfall is expected to return during the morning and could become impactful when considering already saturated soils. Impacts include localized flooding and ponding, especially in low-lying and flood-prone areas, and potential traffic delays due to water accumulation on roadways. Landslips may also occur in areas that are usually susceptible. The Met Office urged the public to monitor weather conditions, assess their surroundings before venturing out, and avoid driving or wading through floodwaters. Persons were also urged to follow the instructions of government officials and monitor weather updates from www.metoffice.gov.tt. In other news, Ainsley King has been re-elected as president of the Trinbago Unified Calypsonians organization. Voting began at 9 a.m. on Sunday and polls closed at 4 p.m. In a post on his Facebook page, Mr. King thanked members of TUCO and the wider Calypso fraternity for their trust, support, and confidence. Mr. King added he is deeply grateful for the opportunity to continue serving as president. He said the victory belongs to everyone who believes in the work being done to strengthen the organization, support its members, and advance Calypso. He called on the Calypso fraternity to move forward together with unity, purpose, and renewed commitment. The 2026 Trade and Investment Convention came to an end on Saturday after bringing together manufacturers, exporters, investors, and buyers from across the Caribbean and beyond. The country continues to push for growth beyond the traditional energy sector. Participants say the event has proven invaluable to Trinidad and Tobago's business landscape. Business leaders say the event can support innovation, foreign exchange earnings, and position TNT-made products more aggressively in the region. The management at popular juice brand Fresh Start said they returned to TIC as part of their diversification and expansion plans.
We have diversified into cocktail mixers, which we launched last year at TIC. We're here again seeking international markets as we expand into the CARICOM region. Bodies is a range that can be used in hotels, restaurants, and bars. There's also a lot of potential for this product to bring foreign exchange to Trinidad and Tobago. This is a very good example of the innovation that exists on our shores and products that can be globally accepted.
This first-time participant urged business owners to recognize the importance of the event and the crucial role it can play in growing their business.
It helped me to understand proper networking. I met people who could pivot me to a different level in my business with packaging, with marketing, with distribution. So it has been a very overwhelming experience. I want to encourage people to please, next year, if you get the opportunity, take a chance on yourself. Get into TIC, you get to meet all kind of people who can help you, who can assist, who can advise.
In sport, centuries from Hayley Matthews and Stephanie Taylor powered the West Indies women to a 6-wicket victory over Ireland, clinching the 3-match ODI series 2-0 with a game to spare. Ireland posted 241 for 7 with Amy Hunter grabbing 67 and Rebecca Stokel with 57. Matthews and Taylor then took charge during the chase, adding a commanding 158-run stand for the second wicket. Matthews struck 100 off 92 balls, while Taylor finished unbeaten on 104, guiding the visitors to victory with 11.1 overs to spare. The final match is set for July 15th. And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back after the break, is the second hour of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m. Resilient, brave, worthy. 12 majestic women, 12 majestic journeys. Majestic Makeover Season 3, coming soon to TTT and TTT Live online.
Majestic Makeover Season 3 is powered by
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT. If you're streaming us live on Facebook or YouTube, a special good morning to you. Well, continuing our discussion this morning with Professor Hubert Daisley. Thank you for staying on with me, Professor. Now, one of the most interesting aspects is the collaboration between engineering and medicine and healthcare. So why is it so important for these two fields now to work together?
Yeah. Well, modern healthcare relies on systems, equipment, infrastructure, data, and efficiency. Engineering brings problem solving, design, analysis, and process improvement. Collaboration ensures solutions are practical, affordable, and relevant to local needs. I mean, we have bits and pieces of machinery or equipment that the public would be competent with or know about, like MRI and CAT scan and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Those are all machines that the healthcare system uses, but the engineers are far more conversant with those than the healthcare professional. So that coming together, we would have a better understanding as we go forward with the use of equipment of that sort.
Mm-hmm. Now, can you give us some practical examples of the kinds of engineering solutions that could improve patient care or even, hospital operations in the years ahead?
Yeah. So patient flow modeling to reduce bottlenecks and waiting time. Medical equipment management, maintenance and adaptation, digital health, data analytic and decision support tools, energy efficiency, ventilation, water system, and infrastructure problems. The engineers would help us along all of these.
Now, I know that this opportunity also, this agreement creates opportunities for engineering students, and there's internships and real-world experience. So how valuable is that exposure for developing the next generation of professionals now?
Yeah, well, it would give students real-world exposure beyond classroom and laboratory learning. And it helps them understand safety, cost, urgency, and human impact. And it developed graduates who are technically strong and socially aware.
Now, research and innovation are at the heart of this initiative, Professor. What are some of the priority areas now that both institutions hope to explore together?
Well, we hope to explore things like biomedical engineering and health technology, hospital operations and patient safety, digital transformation and better use of data, infrastructure, resilience, sustainability, and resource efficiency. These are some of the things that we hope to thrash out together.
And healthcare systems worldwide now are facing challenges. There's rising costs and technological change and increasing demand for services. Professor, how can partnerships like this really help Trinidad and Tobago prepare for those realities?
Yeah, healthcare is becoming more complex. It's costly and technology driven. Partnership pools expertise and reduce duplication. Local capacity helps Trinidad and Tobago develop solutions for its own reality. So these are what we are looking forward to, this pool expertise between the healthcare professionals and the engineering professionals to solve our problems, both engineering and also health, for the betterment of the patient.
And well, speaking of the patient now, so from the patient's perspective, how could this collaboration ultimately improve the quality, efficiency, and the accessibility of healthcare?
Yeah, simple things like shorter waits and better patient flow, more reliable equipment and infrastructure, better planning through data and evidence, and care that is safer, more efficient, and more accessible. These are some of the things that would impact the patient.
And you've spoken about building a culture of innovation rather than treating innovation as a one-off event. What does creating that culture really look like within our public healthcare system?
Yeah, so innovation must be part of a daily practice, not a one-off event. It encourages staff and students to identify problems and test solutions. And it uses evidence, collaboration, and continuous improvement to strengthen services. So these are some of the things.
My final question for you, Professor. Looking ahead, let's say 5-10 years, what would success look like, and what lasting impact do you hope that this partnership will have on healthcare and education and also national development?
Well, we hope that we will have implemented research, not just written reports. We hope that students become leaders in healthcare technology and public service, that hospital benefits from stronger systems and locally relevant innovation, a stronger contribution to healthcare, education, and national development. Now, at the heart of this agreement is practical impact. What is important here is that this is not collaboration for its own sake. The patient must remain at the center of the conversation. For Trinidad and Tobago, local capacity is essential. Innovation only matters if it improves life and strengthens services. This partnership is about using knowledge to improve lives. Our goal is better healthcare, stronger education, and meaningful national development. If we get this right, Trinidad and Tobago would be better equipped to solve its own healthcare challenges.
Thank you very much, Professor. We really do wish the University of the West Indies and the Northwest Regional Health Authority every success as this partnership moves from vision to reality. And we'll have you back on the show, hopefully, to talk a little bit more about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
That's Professor Daisley joining us this morning. We take a break and come back.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Who says you have to wait until December? This July, TTT brings the warmth, wonder, and magic of Christmas in July. Escape into heartwarming Christmas movies every weekend, filled with love, laughter, family, romance, and unforgettable holiday moments. Then keep the celebration going with spectacular musical entertainment featuring beloved local performers, festive concerts, and inspiring performances from both young and established talent. It's the perfect reason to gather the family, make lasting memories, and celebrate the joy of the season right in the middle of the year. Christmas in July, all month long, only on TTT and ttt.live/stream.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Visual arts continue to tell a story of who we are as a people, and for many young creatives, finding the right platform to share that story can really make all the difference. An upcoming exhibition called New Gen is doing exactly that, bringing together 20 emerging artists from the University of the West Indies Art Club to showcase fresh perspectives, bold ideas, and the future of TNT's creative landscape. Well, joining us this morning is curator of Elevated Creative Hub and Cafe, Carissa Bruce, as well as Nicholas Ramdiel, president of the UE Art Club, to tell us all about this exciting initiative. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Hi.
So before we talk about the exhibition itself, tell us a little bit about the Elevated Creative Hub and what inspired you to really create a space dedicated to nurturing creativity.
Well, the Creative Hub was created with owners, Marie Hingston and Tony Hingston. And with us in mind, we wanted to create a space where creatives could come and feel belonging, feel like they are accepted in this space. Because as a creative myself, as an artist, I have gone to places where my story wasn't told from the depth, and I wanted to create a space where we really get behind the story, not only just put art on the wall, but tell the whole story of a creative and an artist.
And well, the exhibition now, it's called New Gen. Yes. So what does the title really represent, and what's the vision behind bringing this exhibition to life?
The title is actually New Generation, just shortened. So it's really highlights the new generation of artists and their whole, their creation from beginning to the end. So we want to get into their art and more of their intentions and their stories.
Yeah. Well, Nick, as president now of the UE Art Club, how long have you been president of the Art Club?
Maybe like a month or two now. I was the previous public relations officer.
Ah, I see. You're also one of the exhibiting artists. Yeah. What does this New Gen represent to you and fellow artists, and what do you hope that people will take away from it all?
I'd say giving younger creatives the opportunity to shine. Sometimes we tend to focus on what we already have and not make space for anything new. I think these artists have great work and they deserve to have the opportunity.
Yeah. Now, I know 20 artists are participating. Tell me about that. What's the selection process like, and how diverse are the styles and the themes and the media that visitors can expect to see?
Well, the style is very diverse. Every artist is unique in its own right. We are also part of the exhibition itself.
Yeah.
So we selected people from the art club itself. And we really wanted to give a space for they to experience exhibiting before they finish school and before they get into the world of work, that they can see and experience it before, so they can understand that, hey, this is how the process goes, and have a good experience doing it as well.
Yeah. Well, Nick, let's talk about your work now. I know your work explores themes of human emotion and mental health. How cool is that? And very appropriate at this time, and definitely, a discussion that we need to have. Can you tell us about the piece that you're exhibiting?
A lot of my pieces that are being exhibited focus on my personal experiences or experiences in my community. I don't want to give away too much because I want people to see it in the show.
Yeah. And what about you?
My work is really an expression of self, but it's also where I challenge myself creatively. So I find I like technical work and work that really challenges me as a creative, really.
Yeah. Well, tell us about Artist Talk as well. I know the exhibition will conclude with that.
Yes. So the Artist Talk is on the 25th, and it's where we really get into the nitty-gritty of behind the artist. not only just the final product, because the journey is just as important as the final product. So we'll get into really why the artist created this, or the thought process leading up to the work, because that is also part of the art.
Mm-hmm. And looking ahead, is New Gen something that you hope will become maybe an annual platform?
Definitely. It is an annual thing that we would want to implement into Creative Hub. And it's where it's our emerging artist show, where we highlight every year creatives, not only from UE, but young artists in total. Yeah.
Well, what are you looking forward to most about New Gen?
I'd say the community and the responses that we've had so far has been really supportive and really welcoming. Yeah.
All right. What are your closing words for viewers this morning about New Gen and Artist Talk and all the work that you've been doing?
New Gen is something that we put together to build the confidence of artists. And we need the public to come out and support so that we can give them the boost they need, because they are very talented. Their work is amazing and you need to come see it. You will be missing out if you don't come and see it. And don't forget the Artist Talk on the 25th as well.
Okay, so when does the exhibition start, New Gen?
That is Saturday on the 18th of July. That's this Saturday from 5 to 9.
And where is this?
At Elevated Creative Hub, upstairs Shops of Marval.
All right. Well, thank you very much, you both. And we really hope that this will become something annual. And thank you for investing in the future for young artists and our creative identity.
Thank you.
We see you at the Elevated Creative Hub. And it's all about New Gen and Artist Talk as well. Well, the time now, it is 7:25. We hope that you've been having a wonderful morning. Remember, this coming weekend, Game On, it's the finale. It's taking place right here at the Mecca, 11E Maraval Road. All you have to do is head across to our social media channels. Speaking of social media channels, everything that you see here and more, you can find at TTT Live Online and at TNT Today Show. If you want to contribute to the show, all you have to do is send us an email at tttoday@ttt.co.tt, and you can be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation.
वेंटीना?
हाँ वेंटीना पे।
चल बोल डाल।
शाबाश 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 आएगा आएगा आएगा।
अली।
Who says you have to wait until December? This July, TTT brings the warmth, wonder and magic of Christmas in July. Escape into heartwarming Christmas movies every weekend, filled with love, laughter, family, romance and unforgettable holiday moments. Then keep the celebration going with spectacular musical entertainment featuring beloved local performers, festive concerts and inspiring performances from both young and established talent. It's the perfect reason to gather the family, make lasting memories and celebrate the joy of the season right in the middle of the year. Christmas in July, all month long, only on TTT and ttt.live/stream. Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house lives. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
If you've ever wanted to learn how to record, to mix, and to shape sound like a professional, your chance is coming up this weekend. We're joined this morning by Kenneth Lewis, a lecturer of Ken Sounds, and he's breaking down the details of his upcoming sound engineering and music technology course, which promises to take both beginners and intermediate students step by step through the foundations of audio production. I think so many people are very interested in this discussion this morning.
Yes.
Kenneth, good morning, and thank you for joining
to you
us.
and your viewers.
Well, thank you for being here with us on this rainy morning. How was your drive here?
Good.
It was good.
Yes, good. Pleasant. Yes.
Now, after taking a break from teaching for several years, I understand.
Yes.
You're back with Ken Sounds. So
Yes.
what inspired you to return, and why did you feel like now was the right time to jump back in?
Well, to be honest with you, I had some health challenges. You know, what happened is that when you're doing such things like audio recording and those things, you need to be, in your right mind. You need to be, fit and whatnot.
Yeah.
So in 2021, I returned and I continued to, to share my knowledge.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons I start back the course is because we have a lot of young people, young men, young women who are interested in the art of music, and they continue, especially with song engineering. And today, we have a vast improvement from song engineering in the dark days to music technology now. And a lot of the music technology we have, a lot of manufacturers are producing a lot of stuff. And we feel that we have to buy everything they dish out at us.
Mm-hmm.
No. What we need to do is to share to the young folks coming up that the music technology, it is a clinical, creative discipline, art of song engineering. So today, technology, we don't have to go back to a lot of analog stuff. Today, we're going from analog to mix to digital.
Mm-hmm.
Then we no longer use tape and reel-to-reel tape anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We use a DAW. DAW, digital audio workstation.
Okay.
That DAW now, that program comprises of a lot of software in terms of SoftSynth, which is the same piano we play. It's SoftSynth now. We have a lot of vocal editing. Like somebody putting a vocal and they left, and the engineer discover, look, we have a problem with this vocal. You don't have to call them back in. The engineer will come and fix that vocal. If certain parts are low, he will just bring it up, edit it. Years ago, we didn't have that opportunity. Years ago, we had to cut the tape, fix it, and then join it back. Now, everything is done through software. So we need to understand, not only using the software, but understand frequency in the range of, if I do a vocal track, where is that range between 20 to 20,000 kilohertz? You have to find the vocal range within that spectrum, you see? So there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to understand about the DAW, the music technology itself, the theory aspect of it.
Yeah.
So what this course proposed to do is to kind of bring you into and to make available the knowledge so that even now, if you have to go to the studio, you can do half of your work at home, with the music technology we have. We don't need this big set of long 6x8 or 4x8 mixers anymore. You can use your DAW within your laptop, and you can produce some of your songs before you go to the studio, so you cut your cost in half.
And you're comfortable as well, just setting up at home.
Yeah, at home.
No,
a matter of fact, in your bedroom.
I love that. And so a lot of people, a lot of aspiring creators are now setting up home studios on a budget. It's cheaper, it's more convenient, and it's comfortable. So, you could do that in your pajamas.
Long time we used to call home studio backyard studio.
Backyard studio.
Right.
Okay.
It's no longer called backyard studio because of the technology.
Right. Now, let's talk a little bit about that. What are the essential pieces of equipment that someone must get to get started if our viewers this morning are interested in that at-home studio?
All you need is a good laptop with good processing power, your hard drive, like 500, maybe to 1,000 gigabytes of space. The CPU, the processor has to be good, to handle the audio. So the laptop, and then you buy a program. You have Logic, you have Ableton, you have Reason, and all those Cubase and all those programs. All of them are similar, It's just that some have different features. So you buy that program, you buy a sound card, maybe 2 little monitors, and a controller. And probably a good mic. And that's all you need.
Wow. Okay, well, that's some good advice for everyone this morning. So can, just tell us, by the end of this program, students will complete their own audio production, I understand, right?
Yes.
So what can participants expect now to walk away with, and how can we register for your classes?
All right, okay. My 2 numbers are 686-6924, 637-0081. They call to enroll. And the course is like 18 hours. That's theory only.
Okay.
And it's like Saturdays from the 18th, from 9 to 12. So that is 6 sessions, so that's every Saturday. After that course, they have the opportunity to record their own track, their own song. Because they would have some artists would have some song that they wrote there and pack it up.
Yeah.
Right. This is the opportunity now after getting the knowledge.
Right.
Now you can come to the studio, my studio, and I will give you hands-on training on your own song.
That sounds very, very, very intriguing.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. What are your closing words for people who should register?
Well, I will encourage young artists, to take the course because there's a wealth of knowledge in the terms of theory. I believe in theory because when I attended the master class for a year, I realized how much there's there to learn. So once you have the theory and the frequency aspect, understand hertz and kilohertz, then you have a foundation to layer tracks and especially to mix. And you wouldn't be fooled by manufacturers. Every time a new plugin coming, you have to buy it. No. You don't need all of that. You just need to know what you need. You buy what you need, because you can get sometimes you have a phone, and because a new phone come out, you pack up yours and buy a next one, and guess what? 2 or 3 features, and you spend thousands of dollars. So we need to have the knowledge what we need to do the job.
All right. Well,
just what you need.
Thank you very much, Kenneth Lewis, for joining us. From the first microphone to the final master. His contact information is on the screen for you now. Give him a call and find out everything that you need. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
And we hope that the classes go really well.
Yeah. Thank you, and thanks to your viewers. Thanks to TDT.
All right. No problem. Well, the time now 7:37 on Trinidad and Tobago. Today we take a quick break. There's more ahead.
काम करो वहाँ मारो।
वो एंटीना?
हाँ वो एंटीना पे।
चल बोल डाल।
शाबाश 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 आएगा आएगा आएगा।
अली।
आएगा।
Who says you have to wait until December? This July, TTT brings the warmth, wonder and magic of Christmas in July. Escape into heartwarming Christmas movies every weekend, filled with love, laughter, family, romance and unforgettable holiday moments. Then keep the celebration going with spectacular musical entertainment featuring beloved local performers, festive concerts and inspiring performances from both young and established talent. It's the perfect reason to gather the family, make lasting memories and celebrate the joy of the season right in the middle of the year. Christmas in July, all month long, only on TTT and ttt.live/stream.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success, it's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT, Tuesday at 8 p.m.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, you need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Reliable internet access has become essential for education, business, healthcare, and everyday life. Through the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago's Universal Service Program, broadband infrastructure is being expanded to underserved communities across the country, helping to bridge that digital divide and really creating new opportunities for citizens. Well, joining us this morning to discuss the initiative and the government's broader vision for digital transformation is Minister of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence, Senator the Honourable Dominic Smith. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good to have you back here. This is what, your third time with us, maybe?
Too many to count.
Yeah, well, look at that. You know, congratulations. We really have to say congrats on the launch of this fiber to the home broadband network in Navet. This is a huge deal. Why is this project such an important milestone?
Well, let me say, first of all, good morning to your viewing and listening public. It's always a pleasure to be here on set with you. Very professional staff here at TTT. So good morning, everyone. Why is it important to have these sort of initiatives led by the government and, of course, led by the Ministry of Public Admin and AI through the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago? Well, for one thing, we always speak about the digital divide. And in the past, that digital divide has remained in the technology divide. But because of the introduction of this revolution of technology through AI, it's no longer just about technology. It's about the opportunity that we provide to everyone, right? And this government's approach has always been about inclusivity. And so, you know, meeting with communities like in Tabakit, Navet in particular, we were able to provide that broadband infrastructure to about 140 homes. That is no insignificant feat.
Yeah.
And it's a tribute to the work that TAT has been doing It's a tribute to the contributions made under the Universal Service Fund. And in general, it's about creating equity and sustainability using technology and allowing every citizen to be part of that ecosystem.
Now, when we hear the term broadband, we often think it's simply just faster internet. But why is it so much more than just that?
Well, I like to think of it, in terms of revolutions of technology. In the past, you've had, things like the motor vehicle. Then you had road connectivity. You had the creation of the light bulb and electricity. So we've had over history modes of revolution. And so broadband and fiber in particular, it provides this new avenue, new opportunity for a new revolution of digital innovation. So it's super important because the world over is about connectivity and the opportunities that are provided to young people, to even senior citizens, even to persons who want to have access to the digital economy. It's so essential to be part of that infrastructure, and broadband really concretizes that and provides that baseline infrastructure for participation.
Now, what practical difference will this really make for the residents in Navet and the surrounding communities, and how will it improve their everyday life now?
I like the communities like Navet because I like to connect for the layman on the ground how this this technology boost is really going to impact their lives. And so for me, let's say you're a farmer in Navet and you've had the opportunity to access a wider market. Technology and the use of technology now allows you to place your prices online. That's something that the modern user appreciates. People are always saying, well, what's the price of this, what's the price of that, the technology really facilitates that sort of market connectedness. And for a small farmer, it allows him to have a wider base of potential consumers. When you think about, again, the students, right? You think about a rural community, a little kid playing in the grass, appreciating the flora and fauna. But we also see him having a tablet, and that tablet giving him access to a host of opportunities, whether it be games, whether it be
a whole new
learning.
world, opening up the world.
Yeah, it's a whole new world, and it allows him to participate in the Internet of services and products, just like any other kid in a more urban setting. So it's super important to see the layers of society that this type of technology affects, and rural communities typically underserved. We want to be able to provide that sort of one, reliance, and also a demonstration by the government and by the cabinet that you also matter, and we will create the opportunities required through technology.
And that has become such a priority for the current administration, for your government and for your office as well, to really expand access to underserved and rural communities. Yeah. And I think project by project, we're seeing that come to life. Now, how does this initiative really support the ministry's broader vision for digital transformation and digital inclusion? I know you've been working hard at that across Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, I remember when I came last time, I spoke to you about 3 main pillars.
Yes.
I said there was a digital economy, the digital society, and digital government, what we call now future-ready TT. So this component really falls under what the digital society is, right? Digital society meaning everyone should have the opportunity to participate in digital technology, and these sort of initiatives provide that level of inclusivity. Now, some of the main products that we have through the ministry been providing, you'd remember the AI access centers. So previously, ICT centers, we're now upgrading them, providing new technology and infrastructure for communities to again participate. We've also, through TAT, been working on TT Wi-Fi, which is a major initiative across several communities, Navet being one, but we're also going to go to Brasso Seco, St. George. There are a number of other communities that have been highlighted for this sort of infrastructure. The third layer is integrating it into schools and the schooling system. So we've been partnering with the Ministry of Education. We've rolled out several AI-based infrastructure programs through our partners OpenAI and Grammarly, and now students are using it on the laptops that have been provided. So it's really not technology in isolation. It's a connected mesh that we're trying to create, and through the Ministry of Public Admin and AI, we are looking at ways in which we can, as much as possible, open the playing field for every part of the community and every member of the community.
Minister, one of the newly signed memoranda of understanding also focuses on artificial intelligence, infrastructure, and large-scale data centers as well. I want to ask you about that from your ministry's perspective and the work that you've been doing. How do you think these initiatives could really help position TNT as a regional leader in digital economy?
Well, I want to say in the last year it's been very expansive in terms of what the ministry has been attempting to do. Very rarely you'd have a small island development state like Trinidad and Tobago become a major player in the digital economy, and also, speaking about things like artificial intelligence as well. We've been recognized by the WSIS in Geneva. We just won a championship award for innovation. The ministry has, been part of the 50 in 5, which deals with digital public infrastructure. We've had several, partners and potential partners reach out to us because of the progress that we've been making as a ministry and under the leadership of the Prime Minister in this ministry. So I would say that it's important for us to, one, recognize that persons are coming to us, and the data centers are a de facto element of that. Data centers are all around. In fact, the UNESCO report confirms that less than 5% of data centers actually are represented in the Caribbean and Latin America. So most of them are outside of the Caribbean. What has also happened as well is that because the AI revolution has now recently started, previously countries would have invested heavily in pre-AI technology. So a lot of these more developed countries are already heavily invested and indebted based on their previous infrastructure investments. So the Caribbean and Trinidad in particular, we have a unique opportunity to be ahead of the race. Globally, governments now are progressing artificial intelligence more than the private sector. In the past, the private sector has usually led these transformations. So what is the opportunity here for Trinidad and Tobago? Well, it's massive. The data centers provides, one, infrastructure development, and so that's a layering of jobs, opportunities. It's estimated that about 5,000 jobs will be provided through the use of data centers. And then you have the skills development. Most of these data centers occur in an ecosystem. So you have a training and development component, because now you have to have those persons man the data centers and manage and maintain the resources of the data centers. So it's really a unique ecosystem that is developing in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're very blessed to be one of the few countries that have the opportunity to participate in that economy, because in this specific space, it's what we call a zero-sum game. It means that many countries are competing against each other for scarce resources, and Trinidad and Tobago is well positioned to be one of those world players.
Well, as we continue our discussion this morning with Minister Smith, as we're talking about that fiber to the home broadband network, TAT is advancing the country's digital transformation agenda through partnerships with broadband service the providers aimed at bringing that reliable internet service to underserved communities. We have something for you now from TTT News.
The Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, TAT, is expanding broadband access across the country through a partnership with RVR International Limited, bringing reliable internet connectivity to communities that have traditionally been underserved. The Broadband Infrastructure Initiative is helping to improve digital access nationwide, with significant progress already being made in several rural and remote areas. In Navet, approximately 140 homes have been reached by the project, with nearly 50 already connected to broadband services. Chairman of the TAT board, Chris Sicharan, said similar work is continuing in communities such as Matlot and other areas where reliable internet access has long been a challenge.
Just over a year ago, we celebrated the completion of broadband infrastructure in St. John's Parish in Tobago, connecting communities such as Lansformy, Bloody Bay, and Palatuvier.
Minister of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence, Dominic Smith, said access to connectivity should not be determined by geography, but should be available to all citizens, regardless of where they live.
The future of Trinidad and Tobago will not be built only in areas such as Port of Spain, Chaguanas, or San Fernando. It will be built in communities like Navet, Matlot, Toko, Moruga, and every corner of this great nation, where people are ready to embrace new opportunities and shape their own success.
The minister explained that the initiative supports the ministry's broader objective of increasing technology adoption and narrowing the digital divide throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
Communities that are connected are better positioned to educate their children, very important, grow business, attract investment, and participate fully in national development. Communities that remain disconnected risk being left behind. And as a ministry, it is our objective or mission or goal to leave no one behind.
Minister Smith emphasized that improved broadband connectivity empowers citizens with greater access to opportunities, allowing them to enhance their quality of life while making meaningful contributions to the nation's development.
Well, continuing our discussion with Minister Smith this morning about that fiber to the home broadband network. Thank you for being here with us again, Minister Smith. I want to ask you now, what can this mean now for other rural communities, and can we expect similar broadband projects rolling out in other underserved communities in the future? And what can Navet really look forward to from this project?
Well, I think at a base level, the government remains committed to technology provision for all. Through the Ministry of Public Admin and AI, we'll continue to work with partners, including TAT. But also I want to recognize RVR, which was one of the suppliers who provided this sort of infrastructure to Navet. I myself was there for the opening, and I connected very quickly to the Wi-Fi. The upload and download speed has been high, and that continues to be so based on feedback I'm having in Navet. So I'm very happy for the community there. I want to also recognize the MP for the area, Minister Sean Sobers, who is a Foreign and Caribbean Affairs Minister. He was also in conversation with me while I was in the community. So big up to Sean. And of course, many communities have been highlighted for this sort of development. In particular, we're looking at Grand Couva, Indian Trail, Brasso Seco, Kumana Village, George Village, Matlot, and a few others. So we have, this is the first of many. And many initiatives like this will also come from the USF, the Universal Service Fund, through our collaboration with that. In general, I want the citizens on the whole to ask questions, to inquire about the services provided through TAT, through the Ministry of Public Admin and AI, and of course all supporting ministries. Our goal is to really create a more inclusive society, and technology being the anchor of that. Artificial intelligence being what I call the amplification of that technology. So I'm very excited. And when I go to these rural communities, they always offer me a couple of limes here, a few mangoes.
Do you take it?
I don't take it personally.
You can't refuse the mangoes. I mean, listen, if you get them, drop them for me. But technology and again, this broadband and this access is really a gateway to the world. And this opens up. You said 140 homes in Navet. That's game changing.
It is.
And this morning we're probably being streamed live by some of those homes in Navet. So a special good morning to all of those people. Minister, any closing words before we wrap up this morning? What can we look forward to? I know you're always doing a lot in the coming days, weeks, perhaps.
So many things. So we have Future Ready TT, which is a conference that we are planning to host in a few months. We also have more access centers being opened across the country. This again will reduce the digital gaps in our society. Importantly, Trinidad, is high on the readiness index. We've been engaging with UNESCO. We've been engaging with the UNDP on their ILA assessments and their RAM assessments. So we're in a good position. We have the opportunity now to really grasp and be at the front runners of the technological revolution that's taking place across the world. It is by no means insignificant, and we'll continue to aggressively pursue that on behalf of the good citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And maybe in the future you can host me again, and I'll tell you more about it.
Of course, that's an open invitation. Well, thank you very much for joining us this morning. 140 residents in Navet this morning enjoying that broadband access, and we'll continue to update you on all the other areas that are coming to life. Well, this is where we say goodbye. Join us tomorrow 6 to 8 where we do this all over again. Thanks so much to all my guests and my amazing crew. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
says you have to wait until December? This July, TTT brings the warmth, wonder and magic of Christmas in July. Escape into heartwarming Christmas movies every weekend, filled with love, laughter, family, romance and unforgettable holiday moments. Then keep the celebration going with spectacular musical entertainment featuring beloved local performers, festive concerts and inspiring performances from both young and established talent. It's the perfect reason to gather the family, make lasting memories and celebrate the joy of the season right in the middle of the year. Christmas in July, all month long, only on TTT and ttt.live/stream. Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off,
long drives, or house limes.
We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories.
It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Good morning, this is your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Economist Dr. Valmiki Arjun says memorandums of understanding signed between the government and U.S. companies over the weekend could boost the economy. Prime Minister Kamla Bisesa signed 3 investment MOUs to bring artificial intelligence data centers to TNT and to restart the steel plant at Point Lisas. Speaking on the TDT Morning Show, Dr. Arjun explained the significance of these MOUs.
The announcement is certainly a very encouraging signal, but the economic significance will ultimately depend at the end of the day on the implementation, on the executions, right? Once these projects reach the implementation stage, they could provide a real shot in the arm for Trinidad and Tobago's economy, especially in the short to medium term. We're talking about more than $5 billion potentially flowing into activities like construction, technology infrastructure, digital infrastructure.
Dr. Arjun added that the economic impact of these projects will not only be felt in technology, construction, and digital infrastructure, but will lead to improvements further afield.
When you spend on that scale, it doesn't stay confined to the projects themselves. It ripples through the entire economy, so it creates opportunities in transport services, telecom, real estate, security, financial services, catering, professional services, engineering, a wider support ecosystem in the economy. In fact, the GDP boost would likely be more visible during the construction and the installation phase.
The agreements were signed with 3 U.S. firms, Ernst & Young LLP, Hummingbird AI Holdings, and Pinnacle Steel and Vanadium Corporation. Keeping our young people safe from gangs, human traffickers, and online scammers is uppermost in many parents' and guardians' minds, especially as the annual July to August vacation begins. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Media Ambassador, Sergeant Devon Jagroup, is advising parents what to look out for to help their teenagers and young people stay safe.
They use different styles, different methods to attract your children. So they have the provider approach by giving them small gifts, phone credit, pair of sneakers, cash for minor favors, creating a sense of debt or obligation. And then there's the protection pitch, framing the gang affiliation as some form of safety, safety from other threats in the community. And there's the family pitch, of course, offering belonging, respect, or status that may be missing elsewhere.
Speaking on the TT Today Morning Show, Sergeant Jagroup advised young people to report these recruiting incidents to a trusted adult or to the TTPS. He also cautioned young women to be on the alert for people attempting to take advantage of them.
Urging young women in particular to exercise caution when arranging to meet persons that they have connected with through dating sites and apps on social media. So before you go, you should tell a trusted friend or a family member exactly who you are meeting with, where you are going, and when you'll be there. Share the person's name and their photograph and profile details with those trusted persons. Video call the person beforehand to confirm their identity, that it matches their profile.
He added that when meeting someone you've met online for the first time, you should choose a well-lit public venue. The public is being warned of the possibility of flooding throughout southern and eastern Trinidad today. This as the Met Office has issued a yellow-level localized flood alert. In its warning, the Met Office said periods of rainfall have led to heightened concern that streams and smaller watercourses may overtop. It added periodic rainfall is expected to return during the morning and could become impactful when considering already saturated soils. Impacts include localized flooding and ponding, especially in low-lying and flood-prone areas, and potential traffic delays due to water accumulation on roadways. Landslips may also occur in areas that are usually susceptible. The Met Office urged the public to monitor weather conditions, assess their surroundings before venturing out, and avoid driving or wading through floodwaters. Persons were also urged to follow the instructions of government officials and monitor weather updates from www.metoffice.gov.tt. And that was your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. On behalf of the entire team, have a great day.